country right now, but we've got Steve Weish out west giving us all the latest. We've got everything you need to know for tonight as Week 14 kicks off. That includes fantasy lineup stuff. I know you guys are tweeting a lot and want to get advanced to Week 15, so I got you. My name's Kay Adams, Peter Schrager, Nate Burleson, and this is Kyle Brandt. What's up, Nate? You're singing songs this morning.
Oh, I'm feeling myself. It's a great day to do our job.
Can we get to the highlights? We got Jags-Broncos last night. Here we go. Let's go. No game last night.
I think there was a Lamar basketball game. I'll watch it.
Instead, we have a primetime showdown in LA. So the Patriots, they mathematically still can advance and get into the playoffs. When the AFC gets dicey, they need other teams to do stuff and collapse, but we'll get to that. The Rams have postseason hopes of their own in a crowded NFC West. It's Thursday Night Football tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox, on NFL Network, and streaming on Prime Video. As I said, our guy Steve Weish is out at SoFi Stadium. Beautiful SoFi with everything we need to be looking for in tonight's tilt.
Well, when the Patriots play the Rams tonight, one thing that we need to keep an eye on is the fact that two of the NFL's best cornerbacks, with the Patriots' Stephon Gilmore and the Rams' Jalen Ramsey, will be on the field. Let's talk about Ramsey first. Now, defensive coordinator Brandon Staley said, "We've seen Ramsey travel with the other team's top receiver and how great of a coverage guy he is. But the way that they are actually using Ramsey when they move him is to where the action is. Sometimes when they move him inside, it's not necessarily for coverage reasons, but he could be protecting in case there is a blitz. Of course, they move him outside depending on what they see offensively. But Ramsey's versatility has allowed the Rams defense to operate at maximum function." Now, when it comes to Stephon Gilmore, Rams quarterback Jared Goff said that everybody knows he's one of the best players in the NFL. But with the Rams having a multitude of wide receiving options, that won't allow the Patriots and Gilmore to necessarily lock in on one player. So they hope that the way their offense functions can really stress the Patriots defense as a whole.
Yeah, I wonder if Gilmore will be hanging out with Woods, J.C. Jackson, and Jonathan Jones, both banged up in that Chargers 45-0 loss to the Patriots in Week 13. Taking a look at the playoff picture here, guys. They're still alive, not really alive. They're still there in the hunt. They are the 10th seed. That's the thing. The 10th seed in the AFC, 2 games behind the Dolphins, 2 games behind the Colts. They haven't missed the playoffs, though, Nate, since 2008. I know it's an uphill battle. I know it's going to be hard. There's very little margin for error. It's almost gone. Do you think they can make it into the dance?
Yes. I said this before, and I'll say it again. If they're mathematically in, I'm not going to count them out. And it's not just because of Cam Newton. You can have your opinion on whether Cam Newton's playing terrible, if he can throw the ball or not. One thing we do know, with Josh McDaniels, Bill Belichick, and the host of players they do have on this offense, they know how to finish. And not a game, I'm just talking about historically. How many times have we said throughout the last 20 years, well, the Patriots have started a little slow. Their defense looks historically bad. The offense doesn't have the rhythm, but they know how to finish in December. Why is that important? Because those teams that might be in the wild card spots or even in the hunt, they're going to falter. One of those squads that we've been hyping all year, they're going to falter because they haven't been here. They haven't experienced this. Bill Belichick, Josh McDaniels, certain players on that squad, they know what it's like to play in the month of December. December's different. Intensity kicks up a notch. Players that are banged up don't think about their bumps and bruises. All the coaches understand what it's like to coach in this month. Other teams that we're hyping up, watch what happens. Mark my words. We'll have this conversation 3 weeks from now.
Name names.
We'll be talking about.
Which team is going to
Raiders?
Well, Miami Dolphins, for example. What experience do they have on that team that says we know how to finish in the month of December?
Flores does it. Flores does it.
Yeah, Flores.
He's going to have to lead.
He's going to have to lead. And he's not a player.
It doesn't bother you if those last 20 years the Patriots have had the greatest quarterback of all time. Now he's not there?
Yeah, it doesn't bother me because they still have the coaching staff in place. So, and I'm not hoping one of those teams. I'm just saying from a player's perspective.
You can't count them out.
When we were mathematically in it, and I knew I had a coach that had the skins on the wall, I knew that other teams were going to falter. That's why teams clock watch. That's why teams pay attention to the schedule, because they're just waiting. Oh, it's only a matter of time before these teams fall apart. I'll see you in the playoffs. I feel like I'm not going to count them out until they're out.
Okay. What do you think?
Well, I think that they're a 10 seed, which Kay is saying, but there is a way to get in. Let's look at right now what we've got here. Let's look at it because here's what they got ahead of them. Here's the schedule. At Rams, okay? Say they win, all right? Why not? They can win. McVay's lost to Belichick before. At Dolphins, in the last 20 years, are we sure we're saying the Dolphins are this heavy over the Patriots? I think there is something there that the Patriots can take care of business.
These guys.
Bills, who they've owned historically for 20 years, and they finish with a winless team. So let's say they win those final 4 games. That would put them at 10-6.
Okay.
Are we certain that the Dolphins, the Colts, and the Browns, with new coaches and new quarterbacks, are locks? Are we certain, after watching Derek Carr barely get by the New York Jets last week, that the Raiders can win 3 games? The Ravens look like a shell of themselves. I'm saying there's a chance because there is a chance. And New York Times does projections, and I know after this past few months, people don't like to look at projections and polls from certain media outlets, but they say that 14% is what the Patriots' chance is to get in right now. Oof. A win makes it 25%. A loss kind of knocks them out of this thing. There is a chance in this, and I believe there is a path. They're going to need a little help, though. And I bring up a game from a couple years ago, our first year as a show. We were in the CBS studios, and it was week 17, and the Buffalo Bills hadn't been to the playoffs in a million years. And they need a prayer and a miracle in the 4 o'clock window. And of all people, it was Andy Dalton throwing to Tyler Boyd in Baltimore to beat a Ravens team and to somehow put the Buffalo Bills into the playoffs. They're going to need help. The Patriots need a random loss, like Nate was saying. The Patriots need a random win. And I promise you this, if they win tonight, Miami and Buffalo the next 2 weeks, guys that they have beaten up on for the past 2 decades, and Belichick is still there on the sidelines. I'm with Nate on this one.
Coming off a 45-point spanking.
And coming off 5 of 6 wins. I'm telling you, the Patriots...
I don't want to put words in your mouth. Emotionally, are you hoping it happens? Are you pulling for it?
Kind of.
I woke up this morning being like, this is cool. This is a roller. And then I'm like, hold on. The Patriots are 1%ers. The Patriots are Randolph and Mortimer. They are Becky and Massimo. I'm not rooting for them at all. This sweet little story. No. This sweet little story of the head coach who's torched the league for 20 years and his MVP quarterback. It ain't exactly Hickory High. No, I'm not. And it ain't exactly likely. I will look at that. They're going to beat the Jets. If the Jets are 0-15, Bill Belichick would rather die than lose and give them their 1 win. They're going to win. Yeah. That's already a win.
Miami's no picnic.
No, it's not. And I don't. That's why I think my answer is no. And most importantly, Cam Newton, I don't know if he can throw a football. Like, what is going? He's 6'5", 245, and he needs a crow hop and a windup to throw it 18 yards to Ryan Izzo. It's like he's shot putting. Every those shoppers, they put it underneath their jaw, and then they have to do the full spin and throw it. That's what Cam is doing right now. Not to chuck it 40 yards downfield, to convert a 3rd and 9. It is really, really weird. So credit to him. Credit to McDaniels. You know, they've reforged this offense. They run, and that's awesome. I love the creativity. The Rams don't play. The Rams stop the run. The Rams hit. The Rams had the best player in the sport. The Rams stopped Kyler Murray. So this whole cute run-the-ball Cam thing has been great. I think it comes to an end tonight. And if you want to talk prediction models, I think they're done if they lose tonight. Mathematically, not my opinion. I think it's a de facto playoff. It goes to 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
The New York Times, too, not like, the AOL fan house. The New York Times says 7%, which means they're basically done. It's a playoff game tonight, and I think Cam doesn't have to throw to win it.
They're pretty good in the playoffs, so we'll see.
They are.
So they would need to win out, is what you're saying, Schrags, and they need help from other teams collapsing along the way. So this is what the Patriots look like without Tom Brady, a team that's here in Week 14 and deciding whether or not they can even make it into the dance. What have you guys made of post-year Brady in this era so far, guys?
The post-Brady era of the Patriots?
Yeah, like we're enough into the season we can sort of have this conversation.
Yeah, sure.
It's one that, by the way, includes 7 touchdowns to 13 interceptions out of their quarterback.
It's been ugly, but there's something about it that's been impressive. They didn't have a quarterback in place right before the season. Like, Cam was the last quarterback to get signed to a roster and then became a starter shortly thereafter. So I would say it's been impressive. I was never really impressed by the dynamic duo of Bill Belichick and Brady, 2 of the best to ever do it on the same team in a system that they've been working for 20 years.
Right.
That's clockwork. This is not that. And they still have found a way to be in the conversation in the month of December. The fact that we're talking about this tonight, and I'll get back to something you said real quick. You said,
go on.
The Rams don't play. The Rams are good, and they are. But the Rams also lost to the 49ers 2 weeks ago. So what are we talking about? Is this, we're just going to show up and the Patriots are going to get smacked about? No. If I'm the Patriots, I'm walking into this game saying, we've seen a backup quarterback beat this Rams team. How are we not supposed to come in confident and we have a chance to make the playoffs? You said this a long time. I'm just repeating what Kyle said a few weeks ago.
It's a great show.
Don't let these guys in the tournament. Don't let these guys, because there's a lot of teams that are going to get into the tournament, the playoffs. They're going to be like, whoa, this is crazy, a deer in headlights.
Yeah.
When the Patriots are like this, we made it. Now let's go to the Super Bowl.
First of all, I am very impressed with what Belichick and Brady have done in the last 20 years. You said you weren't. I find very, very impressive what they've accomplished.
Pretty cool, yeah.
They've done a lot of good things. I was ready to call this thing, the whole, like, Brady versus Belichick.
The old white flag.
Yeah, it was over. Throwing the towel 6 weeks ago, like, Belichick's getting dunked on. They got nothing. He was nothing without Brady. Brady's winning. They're cruising. Hold on a second. And then it was like, and the Russian is cut, and it's a bad cut. They open up this huge cut under the eye of this fight where now Brady can't get along with his coach, Brady can't win at night, and Belichick's just cruising. So where do I come out on this? It's right now, it goes to the cards. We have 4 more rounds to go in the chapters that will be written. It's not decided.
You know, they lost a game to the 49ers in the late afternoon on a Sunday, and Nance and Romo were there, and it was 33-6, and the Niners just ran all over them. And I remember thinking, wow, is that going to be like the last time we see Nance and Romo ever on a Patriots game? Like, it just felt weird. Like, this team does not belong that top billing in the AFC anymore. End of days, it felt. And what have they done since? They gave the Bills everything they had. They sneaked by the Jets on that Monday night. They beat the Ravens. They compete with the Texans. And then the last 2 weeks, beat the Cardinals and then blow out. Like,
they blew them out.
I said coach of the year before the season started for Belichick. He's not the coach of the year.
Pundits up there think he is, though.
But he's certainly in the conversation. And I was willing to say, like, that was the biggest mistake I have made at predictions. If they make it to the playoffs, Belichick might be your coach.
Everyone in New England is talking about.
It's an unbelievable coaching performance the last month. It's been incredible.
Run scheme, credit to McDaniels, of course. All credit, you know, like, you guys know I'm a big offensive line girl when it comes to the Patriots. It's always been stout, but that's really why they're allowed to run. They're the 3rd best run game in the National Football League. They have the PFF graded 3rd best run blocking offensive line. Scarnecchia's not there. They've got a new guy named Cole Popovich. He's up there doing his thing, and they look really good as far as that's concerned. I don't know if they can stop the run on the other side. Hopefully they can with our guys like Chase Winovich and his mannequin named Giovanni. It's going to be a slugfest tonight. I don't know.
Do you think they're going to make the playoffs?
Do I think they're going to make the playoffs? Yeah. No, I think that they need to rely on too many things from other teams. But it's the fact that they don't have enough time. There's 4 games left, and they're 2 games back of the Dolphins.
Belichick ain't the coach of the year, by the way. Even he in Cleveland couldn't win 12 games like Kevin Stefanski is going to this year. I think it's him.
Yeah. If we wake up tomorrow morning talking about Patriots as the winners, just watch out for December. This is going to be a different show.
If it's 25% chances per New York Times, then maybe I'll change my tune.
Right. We're doing prediction models here in the session. What the hell show is this? Peter, what are you?
Let's bring in Tom Brady, our NFL Network insider du jour. The Giants beat the Seahawks. Colt McCoy was at quarterback in that game. They could get Daniel Jones back for Sunday, question mark?
Okay, Giants coach Joe Judge says they are optimistic that Daniel Jones will be back in the lineup on Sunday against the Cardinals. Officially, he was listed as limited in a light practice / walkthrough yesterday as he continues to recover from that hamstring injury. Judge said, we know that he's going to tell us everything we want to hear, but we're going to use our eyes, not our ears, get Jones on the field and give him a chance to progress. If he cannot go against Arizona, it would be Colt McCoy making his second start after a good enough effort last week against the Seahawks. Another quarterback note, Cam Newton of the Patriots officially listed as questionable because of that abdominal strain that he suffered a couple of weeks ago. I am told Cam is fine. Good to go against the Rams, okay?
Thank you so much, Tom. We'll have you on throughout the show. Excited about tonight's kickoff. TNF right here on NFL Network. Up next, Jalen Hurts getting his first NFL start up against the #1 defense in the land, the New Orleans Saints. This game in Philadelphia. How about his fellow rook, Jalen Schrager? Will he help him out? We'll talk about that.